So I have been thinking a lot about, I shared with the community this morning in our morning motivation, morning practice, I've been thinking a lot about the word choice, or to choose. And Venerable says to us in her teachings many times is that the only thing that we have to do is die. And so I always thought that that was kind of an interesting statement, because I really didn't think that that was something that I had to do, at least now. It would be someplace in the future. And that a lot of my life I couldn't choose. You know, in our Western vernacular, we have a lot of sentences that begin with, I have to, I should, I need to. And so I have been thinking about my life and how many times I have used those words when I don't want to take responsibility for the situation I'm in, or how I'm feeling, or my relationship to others. And so the past few days I've been thinking about, and it's kind of an odd thing, because when you start saying, I choose to go to this meeting that I know is going to be difficult, I choose to go to my children's dance recital, I choose not to be able to, it really does, it's awkward, because for me it makes me think, well, is that true? And when I say should, or I have to, it almost like gives the power and the authority of my own life to something else. I'm not sure what it is, but it isn't to me. So when I start thinking about using the word I choose, or making choices in my life, it's kind of a scary thing, because then it means that I'm taking full responsibility for my part in whatever this thing is that I'm choosing to do. And so I think that learning the Dharma and working with our minds starts clarifying for me what it is that I choose to do. And it's not to say, I'm still not convinced that when I'm under strong afflictions that I actually have a choice. There's a compulsion, there's a habituation that feels so powerful that it feels like I don't have a choice. So in those situations, and in particular habitual ways of thinking, I'm trying to work with specific afflictions so that I can someday be able to use the word I choose, to be able to either pull myself out of those situations by using antidotes, or to be able to be totally conscious and say, my mind is tail spinning into a whole series of angry thoughts, and I'm choosing to go there. It's familiar. Right now I feel like stewing. I know I'm going to be miserable afterwards, but I'm going to choose to do it. And so by doing that, it's going to be like, do you really want to do that? See, because as long as I say I should, I have to, I don't have any control, I go flailing around and tumbling into my afflictions all the time. But if I know that there are these very, very tiny moments where I know that there's a moment that I can go, no. I know how I feel, I know what the experience is going to be, I know the suffering that is going to entail upon this venture. And I don't know what else to do, but I'm going to sit and I'm just going to breathe. I mean, something. But I want to be able to make that as part of my practice more and more, rather than feeling that I'm hopelessly compelled. And therefore, I take myself out of the role of responsibility, that this affliction is running me around the racetrack, and that I'm just along for the ride. So I have a lot, I still don't see that point, the choice in there, but I'm going to go looking and see if I can somehow work with putting a choice in those situations. But I do, experientially, I know that by working on my afflictive states of mind and cultivating my good qualities, that choice is, I understand it more clearly on those moments where I get to choose. So I'm looking forward to finding out a little bit more about choosing things in my life. And that even though I spent most of my life wanting my independence and autonomy to be an independent, self-made woman, a lot of my life I didn't have a lot of choice, because I wandered aimlessly and didn't know what I was doing. But I think that choosing gives a great element of freedom in our life. when we know why we're choosing what we're doing, what we're going to do, what the repercussions are going to be, and that we're still taking the responsibility to do that. I think it's a very empowering, freeing state of mind. And that's what I'm planning to work on in the near future.